Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven suffers violence, and the violent take it by force. That talks about Christian conquest. But it's not by the sword, it's by love, service, and by the Spirit of God. And so we look at all the atrocities committed by Christian conquistadors, in the Spanish armadas, and historically Christians have really missed it in this, because Jesus said, he who lives by the sword shall himself die by the sword. So let's talk about philosophy versus revelation. I'm going to compare a few of Alexander's quotes with Scripture as I understand it. Alexander the Great made the statement, there is nothing impossible to him that will try. Now, okay, let me contrast that with Matthew 19:26. Jesus said, with God, all things are possible. So the error in Alexander's thinking, he says there's nothing impossible to him that will try. Well, it's good he's encapsulated the spirit of faith and aggressively moving forward and doing something with your life. I get that. But he seems to forget that apart from Jesus, we can do nothing. Notice God says, with God, all things are possible. But without God, and we're going to look, as we look at the Scripture in tomorrow or this weekend's lesson, we're going to look at how the sovereign hand of God moves in empires of the world. And then speaking of the generations, Alexander makes a statement, through every generation of the human race, there has been a constant war, a war with fear. Those who have the courage to conquer it are the ones who succeed. Well, the Apostle Paul reiterates that in speaking to Timothy in 2 Timothy 1:7. For it says, for the Spirit of God does not make us timid, or God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and of self-discipline or self-control. So the truth is, Alexander's wisdom was and is impressive, but it was human or man-centered.